Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time period you're watching this. Welcome to part 2 of my 9-part series regarding the midterm elections. Today we have the Mid-Atlantic region, so that is New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. Let me shrink this down a little bit. So, same story, governor's elections, senate election, house elections, and ballot initiatives. And we just have 3 states today. Don't let it fool you, because these are 3 states that are actually quite large. So we have a lot more things to discuss. First off, we have New Jersey. There's just going to be, for this presentation, there's just going to be house elections. And everything else I'm not going to bother discussing, because again, I don't want these kind of episodes to be multiple hours. I kind of hope if I can get it within half an hour, then I would be okay with that. Saves a lot of time on your end too. First district, Donald Norcross against Claire Gustafson. This is on the southern side of New Jersey. This is officially, I think it's a safe Democrat district, according to Cook, PVI. It's going to be closer than in the last 2 elections, I can tell you that. And I think between 15 and 20 points for Mr. Norcross. Second district, Jeffrey Drew against Tim Alexander. Jeffrey Drew, he switched parties back in 2018, according to the first impeachment trial, the bogus one. Well, technically both of them were, but who's counting? So Van Drew is being pulled up above 18 by 538. They systematically underestimate Republicans, so I think this time around too, this redistricting cycle, I think the district has switched a lot more Republican in its vote, so Van Drew's going to hang on. It's probably going to be a lot wider than it was in previous years around. So yeah, at this moment, more than 15 feasible. Could be a little lower depending on what the leaning of the state overall becomes. But that's only something we can see in a few weeks. Third district, Andrew Kim against Bob Healy. Currently Kim is leading by 6 and 8.6 in the aggregate, with RCP and 538 respectively. I think he's going to hang on. 5 to 10 points. It's not going to be... it could be about 7 points like it was in the previous election, so that is a possibility. But then again, this could also be a kind of wave year in which magically Bob Healy pulls it off and the seat flips. Could happen. Maybe if we are closer to the election, this can be added to the toss-up video that I'll be making in a few weeks. So, only time will tell. Fourth district, this is Chris Smith against Matthew Jenkins. This district is safe Republican. It has moved even further in the Republican column due to the redistricting, so there's no possibility here that Chris Smith will lose. Fifth district, Josh Gottheimer against Frank Pallotta. It is getting closer, but with the redistricting, I think it's moved slightly more Democratic. It's not by an insurmountable margin, but I think this time around Gottheimer is going to hang on by about 5 to 10 points. Frank Pallone against Susan Kiley for the 6th district. This is going to be a safe victory for Pallone. 15 to 20 points. Maybe a little more. Kind of depends on what New Jersey is thinking. So as long as we don't have any proper polling from reliable sources, this is just going to keep... we're going to keep it in this ballpark. 7th district, Tom Malinowski, against Thomas Keane. So this is a fun one, because I think Thomas Keane was the guy who held it in 2016. So it's kind of vying back for your own seat. Malachowski narrowly won last time around, and now currently Keane is leading in the polling. So yeah, this is a flip. And you can also see it switch from D+4 to R+3, so yes, this seat is going to go. And Republicans are going to win this one. So I think it's about a 5 to 10 point margin. It's not going to be 8 by the one good poll we have. It's a little too much for New Jersey, particularly in this district over at the northwest. But anything can happen. The 8th one, Robert Menendez against Marcus Arroyo. This is like Atlantic City, so safe Democrat, more than 20 points. We don't have to consider. 9th is Bill Pascrell against Billy Prempeh. Yeah, this is just going to be a safe victory. 10th district, Donald Payne. Again, this is a safe victory. This is like Trenton area. It's not going to be any contest. Mickey Cyril against Paul de Groot. Likely victory. I think this one is a little narrower than people are going to expect. 5 to 10 points. Same time as 2020. It may actually be possible to flip this one, but I don't think the RNCC is actually focusing on this district because they have safer bets to go for. 12th district, Bonnie Coleman. No contest, easy victory. So currently I only estimate that the 7th is going to flip from Democrat to Republican. There may be a second one with the 11th district, but we can only see. New York. This is going to be one of the big states to watch in this midterm election. We have a Senate race, we have a House race, governor's election, and we have ballot measures. Let's go with governors first. Andrew Cuomo. We all know that guy. He resigned according to various scandals in his administration in 2021. And within a few months, his brother was fired from CNN because, well, his brother was trying to, I think it was, intimidate those that accused his brother. I think it was. Could be something else. Well, allegedly, of course. Don't want any lawsuits up in here. Please don't sue me. Alright, so Kathy Hochul was his lieutenant governor. She's now governor, and she's very unpopular in the state. And she's being challenged by Long Island resident and former congressman Lee Zeldin over at the 1st district. Currently, it appears that Hochul is leading by about 7 points, at least in the aggregate. Here's a little problem though. We know that Zeldin is performing very well in Long Island, so Nassau County and the adjacent one, I think that's Suffolk. Could be wrong on that one. So he is in a very good position to actually flip this race. And don't be surprised that this is actually going to be this cycle's upset victory. So currently I'm going to estimate it's about 5 to 10 points for Hochul. It could actually be the case that Zeldin is going to narrowly flip this. So later down the line, so next week I'm going to reanalyze this, do it again, and see if it actually is the case that Zeldin is going to pull off this upset victory. At this point, I'm going to say there's about a 30% chance of him actually doing it. It could be on an upward. It is on an upward trajectory. It could actually be the case that in 2 weeks he actually wins. That it actually becomes more than a 50-50 shot. We'll see. What isn't a 50-50 shot is the Senate election, of course. It's Charles Schumer against Joe Pignon. There wasn't even a primary in both cases. And we know how it goes with elections and re-elections. Re-election campaigns. if the candidate is uncontested, they are probably going to win re-election. So Schumer, then he won by 30 and then 40 in the later cycle. So currently the polling has him up by 20. I think that's kind of underestimating him. I know it's a very unfavorable year for Democrats, and Schumer is the kind of guy that really lacks charisma, but he's not going to lose. Come on, more than 20. First district. So we have Lee Zeldin, who is now running for governor. The man who is going to replace him is Nicholas LaLota. And currently it's up by 4, according to 538. Well, we know they're underestimating Republicans. So I think it's going to be like closer to 10. So 8 to 10. But for the safety, I'm just going to put it at 5 to 10 bracket. Second district, Andrew Garbarino. He won last time around by 7 points. It's going to be a wider victory this time around. So I think 10 to 15. I think that would be a good position to place it on. We have the third one, Robert Zimmerman against George DeVolder Santos. Thomas Suozzi held the seat. He is running for governor and he failed in the primary. Currently we have Zimmerman plus 1 in RCP and Zimmerman plus 4. So this is actually just a pure toss-up. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Zimmerman is going to narrowly win. Maybe it's going to be about 2 points. 2 to 3. But then again, I have brackets to live up to, so 2 to 5 points. Laura Gillen against Anthony Desposito. Yeah, that's funny. I just realized that joke. Kathleen Rice held the seat. She's retiring. And this is Gillen plus 8 for 538. RCP is a toss-up. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's going to be 5 to 10 points for Gillen. 5th District, Gregory Meeks. Safe victory. Not really much to talk about. Grace Meng. Same story, safe seat. Nadia Velasquez. Safe victory. Hakeem Jeffries, safe victory. Yvette Clark, safe victory. So this is New York we're talking about. It's going to be pretty much impossible for a Republican to win in downtown New York. Daniel Goldman, Trump endorsed Daniel Goldman against Benin Hamdan. Well, it's obvious. This is the financial district we're talking about. It's going to be a Democrat representing them. Daniel Goldman's going to win pretty safely. Nicole Miliotakis over at Staten Island against Maddox Rosen. This is the funny part. So these two were representing this district back to back. So Maddox Rose represented it in 2018 to 2020, and then Miliotakis won against him, and now they're gonna do a rematch. But this time around, I think pretty obvious that it's going to be a Republican seat. And the district is also moved towards the Republican direction with the redistricting. So, pretty obvious that the Republicans are going to win this one. I think it's going to be more than 10, less than 15. 12th district, this is Gerald Nadler. Safe victory. So this one was actually a consolidated district with Carolyn Maloney's. And this is basically the downtown, the Jewish districts, which Nadler represents. It's going to be an easy victory for him. Don't even question it. 13th, Adriano Espiliat. He's not even opposed. This is kind of the thing that I was expecting with downtown New York, that the Republicans wouldn't even bother. And they shouldn't even bother, because it's a waste of resources. 14th, Tino Forte is trying to unseat Cortez. Well, it's not going to happen, because even if the Democrats have like a 40% turnout and the Republicans have a 100% turnout, you're still a few thousand votes short. So, safe seat. Richie Torres, safe victory. Jamal Bowman, safe victory. Sean Maloney, this is the first district that actually can be a little close. He's going for re-election against Michael Lawler. And, Maloney is up by 7 in 538, toss-up in RCP. I think Maloney's going to win, 2 to 5 points. It's going to be closer. This district also moved closer in the PVI, so yeah, this is a new swing district, and it may be the case that over in 2024, with the next presidential election, that this actually may be represented by a Republican. It's possible. I wouldn't rule it out, at least at this point in time. The 18th, Pat Ryan against Colin Smith. So this one was with the special election. Yeah, currently it's a toss-up. Ryan is leading according to 538, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna really put that in doubt. I think it's a toss-up district, 2 to 5 points. This one could go either way. So let me just say that. 19th, same story, could go either way. George Riley against Marcus Molinaro, could go either way. This one doesn't have an incumbent. Molinaro did run for the special election over for the 18th, and he narrowly lost by like 2 points, maybe 3. This seat was held by Antonio Delgado, who is now the lieutenant governor, and probably is going to be re-elected because he isn't a controversial man, unlike his boss. Yeah, this is a toss-up district. 20th, Paul Tonko, safe re-election. 21st, Elif Stefanik, the House Chair for the Republican Party. She's going to win safely. This district also moved towards the Republicans even further with the redistricting. Brandon Williams against Francis Cannoli. This district is being held currently by Chris Jacobs, and Chris Jacobs is retiring because he voted against the Second Amendment rights of the American people, and he got called out on it and decided that the heat was too much for him. Williams is currently leading. No, sorry, this district, Claudia Tennis. No, I think this is actually the seat currently held by what's his face? The guy that impeached Trump. So it's I don't know his name. He's that irrelevant. Katko, that was the guy. He's retiring with a tail between his legs. So good riddance. Williams is gonna win this one. It's a narrow victory. It could, in the next cycle, could be a swing of, could be this is going to be a battleground district for the next foreseeable future. 23rd, this is Nicholas Langworth. This is the seat for Chris Jacobs. This is the one. And it's being called as consolidated with the one from Tom Reed. Now I remember. Nicholas Langworth, he's going to be a safe victory for him. Don't even bother. Claudia Tenney, she's going to win re-election. Now officially, so with the districts being shifted around, this officially was the 24th, so this was Katko's district, but Katko is retiring, so good riddance. Teddy's going to win this one by 15 to 20, possibly even more, depending on the national environment. 25th, this is Joseph Morell's district, safe victory. I think it's going to be more than 20. 26th, this is going to be Buffalo, Brian Higgins, safe victory. Nothing more to tell. So, for now, Hochul is re-elected, and so is Schumer. There is a possibility that the governor's race can move even further into the toss-up category, but we'll have to see for that one. New York 18th and 19th are currently toss-ups. They can go either way. but it's not going to jeopardize the House majority or the delegation majority, so that's not going to be a point. There's one ballot measure regarding environmental bonds, so there's going to be about 650 million going to be allocated to infrastructure regarding sewage, 650 million for land conservation, more than $1 billion for flood risk reduction, and $1.5 billion for pollution reduction projects. Overall, well, knowing government, I think this is probably going to be some kind of tax scam. But then again, I'm the kind of guy that doesn't trust government in the first place. So it's more of my thing. Final state for the day, Pennsylvania. There's a governor's race, there's a Senate race, and there's a House race. And a bunch of local down ballot things that I don't want to discuss. First one, Governor Mastriano, Douglas Mastriano against Josh Shapiro. So the things that we can say is Shapiro was unopposed in the Democratic primary. He is currently the Attorney General of the state, or Secretary of State, one of the two. And he's running against State Senator Douglas Mastriano. Mastriano did have a primary, he overperformed significantly, and it's because his support in western Pennsylvania was underestimated, particularly around the Pittsburgh area and Erie, that kind of area. For this particular race, the Republicans are underestimated by more than 4 points. After we adjust that, it's still going to be Shapiro plus 6. I think Shapiro is going to win, and I think this is a damn shame that the Republicans aren't contesting this district, because effectively this hands the Pennsylvania to the Democratic Party in 2024 for the presidential election. That's what the Republicans now have done. The Republican Governors Association, they have effectively handed Pennsylvania to the Democrats. So for now I'm having it as less than 5 points. It could be that the polls are underestimating Mastriano once again, and that he could peek out a victory. But that requires his campaign, his advertisement game, his entire campaigning apparatus. And I personally hope that Mastriano is going to win, but then again, it's probably at this moment I think he has about a 1 in 4 shot. What isn't a 1 in 4 shot, however, is the Senate race. So, Oz has outperformed the polling by about 5 points, 4.5, 5 points. Patrick Toomey, the current incumbent, he's won twice with very slim margins. In both cases he was below 50 points, of 50 percentage points, so don't rule out the Republicans in this one. And if you do, you are severely mistaken. This particular district, Republicans, for this race, Republicans are underestimated by more than 5 points. And in this particular cycle, that puts the race in Oz's column. That puts it as Oz plus 2. So I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm saying this Senate election is not a toss-up. It is going to be an Oz victory, an Oz hold. Republicans are going to win this seat. So don't believe ABC, don't believe NBC, MSNBC, CNN, those media conglomerates. They're wrong. Oz is going to win. Pennsylvania's first district, this is Bucks County. Brian Fitzpatrick currently is leading by 7 to 10 points. He's going to win. It's going to be about 5 to 10 points. And which in my personal opinion is a damn shame, because this is one of the unreliable Republicans. So I would prefer him gone, but then again we can primary him out next time. So rather an unreliable vote than a hostile vote, I would say. 2nd district, this is Philadelphia area, Brandon Boyle, safe victory. Dwight Evans, he's unopposed in the 3rd. Madeline Dean in the 4th district. This is a bit of the suburbs regarding Philadelphia, and she's going to win by about 15 to 20 points. 5th district, Mary Scanlon, this is a safe district, this is again Philly. 6th one, Chrissy Houlihan. I'm really bad with these Italian pronunciations. I think it's going to be between 5 and 10 points. I think that, estimating that it's going to be a 16% victory for her, no, it's going to be closer. 7th district, Susan Wild. I think this one is going to be one of the flips in Pennsylvania. And I think there are multiple flips this cycle around. Currently, 538 has it as a tie. And if they write it down as a tie, they really, really don't want it to write as a Republican victory, because they're biased. 5 of RCP has it as Charlotte +4. Charlotte's going to win by 2 to 5 points. Pretty obvious. Matt Cartwright. Again, this is another one that's going to fall. They all fell down, it seems like it. I think Jim Bonet, he's going to win by about 2 to 5 points. 9th district, Dan Muser, safe Republican seat. 10th, Scott Perry. I think it's going to be about 5 to 10 points. Could be a little more than that, but then again, I don't really think that he's going to overperform the polling in this particular cycle around. Lloyd Smucker, safe district. Summer Lee, this is Pittsburgh. It actually has moved into the likely Democrat column, I think, with RCP. Have to double check that, but I don't particularly wanted to do that today. So I'm gonna think Summer Lee, she's probably gonna have a 15 to 20 points. Maybe it's gonna be a little lower. Then again, this district moved 10 points towards the Republican column. So we can already respect that Doyle, who is the retiring incumbent, he won by almost 40 last time around, so you move that 10 points towards the Republicans. Then you have an 18% victory because you subtract from one and add to the other, which means that the gap closes twice as fast. She's going to perform in line, I think. So it's going to be a safe victory, but it's not going to be more than 20. 13th district, John Joyce, he's unopposed. Guy Reschenthaler, he's going to be unopposed. Glenn Thompson, safe Republican district. Mike Kelly, safe Republican district. And this is the outskirts of Pittsburgh. This is the 17th. Christopher DeLuzio against Jeremy Schaefer. Currently, I think this is a toss-up district. RCP has it tied. 538 is DeLuzio +4. And I think you're going to be delusional if you think that this is going to be a safe district one way or the other. It's going to be 2 to 5 points. This is a pure toss-up. Summary. I think Josh Spear is going to be elected governor. Mehmet Oz, he's going to be elected to succeed Patrick Toomey. Republicans still hold the majority of the delegation, and what I'm thinking is going to be a 10 to 6 split, for which the remaining 17th district is going to go either way. And at this particular time, if I had to put a bet on it, I would say that it's going to stay narrowly. And with narrowly, I mean less than 1 point. Senate delegation, it's Bob Casey Jr. and Mehmet Oz after this election. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe if you want more, share it out if you think it's worth it, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Any feedback, updates to the templates, that kind of stuff. If you have a request regarding certain topics that I can make videos on, please do. This is going to be it for now. Thank you kindly for watching, and have a blessed day.